Hi guys, Dave here for Southern Land Solo. Thanks for tuning in. Today I'm doing a comparison video on the Hills Hat Milford and the Outback Hat Madison River. So let's get into it. The Outback Hat Madison River. Now, Outback is a well-known company. It's got a very good reputation out there, particularly in oilskins. I believe it's owned by a fella in Pennsylvania, USA, and a lot of the designs, or I think the majority of their designs, are Australian and come out of Australia as well, some of their products. I believe they have a distribution center in Palmerston North, New Zealand. So it's got those three countries involved there. But the Outback Madison River, it's 100% cotton oilskin, and it's treated with a mixture of wax and oils, or wax and minerals, for the waterproofing. It's got 3 eyelets going around the top there on either side for a bit of ventilation. And I have found that if you want a chin strap, it doesn't come with a chin strap, not this one anyway, you can run a shoelace through there and just have it hanging down and just make a chin strap. And it's not uncomfortable at all up against the side of your head with a hat on it. On the interior, 100% cotton, and the headband is a is an elastic moisture wicking headband. So quite nicely done. This Outback hat here, I believe all of them, or most of them, have what they call a koala pouch. It's a little pouch there, so you can put stuff in right at the tip of the crown there. And lined in cotton too, if I didn't say that already. And this hat is manufactured in China. The quality of it is really quite good. It's very robust. And you just bounce it back into shape. They say it's packable, crushable, and foldable. To be honest with you, I'm not sure about that. If that's what they say, you know, they're the experts. I'm not a hat expert, but I would think the more you crush and fold this thing down, it's not going to take very long at all before it gets lots of creases and you get little cracks in the wax treating and stuff like that. Could be wrong, but it just seems it's a very robust, very well-built hat. And I'm thinking to me, it seems like it's going to really suffer from crushing it down or folding it up all the time, particularly folding it. Crushing it down, you would just crush the crown down and then stick it in your suitcase. But you know, they do advertise it as that, and it can bounce back. You push it back into shape. I just think eventually it's going to wear itself out quite quickly. Could be wrong, could be wrong. The measurements of the crown, which I should have done at the start, we'll do it now. It's about 10 centimeters for the front of the crown there, and about a 6.5 centimeter brim. So quite small, quite nice for getting through the bush. As you see, very similar in design to the Hills hat. Both very, very similar designs. I put a bit of a finger crease in there, and that's how I wear it. I'm wearing it right now, and I got a little bit of space up there between the top of the hat and the top of my head, so get a little bit of airflow up there. So probably quite cool in hot weather. It's not too bad at all. Quite a nice hat. Give my profile shot. So as you can see again, it sits quite nicely. Now, I've got a large head, particularly small brain, but large head, and this hat is a medium in size. And with the elastic headband, it's quite a snug fit. It's quite nice. Stick it back if you like, pull it forward. Yeah, it's quite good. You can get a little bit of shaping to it. I think after a while, you can have this folded down a little bit, fold down the front of the brim, fold down the back of the brim, get a bit more water runoff. But it is cotton, and there's no wire around the edge. There's no wire around the edge, so it's pretty much going to hold its shape as to how it's been manufactured, but you can make those slight changes if you want. Yeah, all in all, really good hat, really robust, and I think it'll hold out quite well in the bush. Let's look at the Hills hat. The Hills Hat Milford. Of the two, this one is my favorite. Nothing against the Outback, of course, but I just like this. It's a bit smaller in size. The brim on this fella is about 5.5 centimeters as opposed to 6.5. The crown height is about 9.5 centimeters as opposed to 10 centimeters. I like that little bit of extra. I like the fact that it's a little bit smaller, and for me it gets around in the bush a bit more. And I think just the styling of this hat, I think, is a little bit better than the Outback. Again, personal taste. I just prefer the style of this hat. So let's look at it. The Hills Hat Milford, 100% waxed cotton. And they say waxed, it's called oilskin. They call it oilskin, but their treatment apparently is just a wax treatment. It hasn't got oils or minerals in it. So it's supposed to be a breathable wax. I didn't know there was such a thing, but that's what it has. And apparently their wax treatments are very, very good on these hats. They do a number of like layering, for lack of a better description, of their waxing. And so they're really quite waterproof. 3 ventilation holes on either side of the crown. The hat band going around it is the same cotton canvas as this hat, and the cotton canvas is 8-ounce cotton canvas, Australian 8-ounce cotton canvas. That's what the Hills hat is made out of. Hills hat is also lined, 100% cotton. Really nice liner in there, just looks classy. No pocket like the Outback has, but I'm not really going to stick things on my head pocket anyway. And the headband is cotton as well. The Hills hat is made in New Zealand. So again, a shorter crown, a shorter brim as compared to the Outback, which kind of makes it a little bit more of what I'm looking for. And I think the styling, again, like I said, is a little bit better, so it kind of suits me a little bit more. Again, with this hat as well as the Outback, I haven't taken either of them out in the wet. Typical New Zealand, I was hoping for wet weather today, and it was raining just before I started filming, so I said good, we'll give a bit of a water test, and now the sun's out. So, you know, that's New Zealand for you. But this hat is lighter than the Outback. I think the Outback hat, overall, the Outback hat is going to be more robust. This hat is lighter, it can take a little bit of a beating. Okay, when I did that to the Outback hat, it got a bit of a dent in it, but you just pop the dent out. That's okay. I did the same thing to this hat, and there's no dent. So this hat is lighter, but very well made. And Hills hats are known to be well made hats. They really are good. I think its lighter weight is compensated for the fact of its good design and really good construction. They call it a structured hat. Not exactly sure what that means. Please enlighten me if you know. But I believe it's possibly because it's not crushable and it's not foldable. You want it to hold that shape. The fact that it's got a cotton liner inside is sort of an indication that it's not crushable. I believe the earlier versions of this hat were crushable. They didn't have a cotton liner, but now they put that one in, and probably makes it a lot more comfortable and a lot less clammy on your head. You don't have that waxy, oily feeling on your head. But I believe that cotton liner makes it, puts it in the category of a non-crushable hat. So, 2 really good hats. Yet to test them out in the wet, but I think they'll be fine. Which one do I go for? I prefer the Milford, just personal choice. If you're thinking of a good, robust bush hat, I have no problem recommending this fella either, the Outback hat either. But for me, the Milford is the hat I choose. Give you some profile shots. This is when the fashion companies will start calling me. So you can see a smaller brim, quite a bit smaller than the Outback. So it just fits in nicer around the bush. Again, you put it back like that, put it forward. And what's interesting about these 2 hats, the Outback hat, I wear the medium. This hat here is their size large. So it shows you when you're buying hats, you got to go in the shop and try them out. And if you're ordering something like this online or something like that online, go to a local shop that carries their brand of hat anyway. It might not have the one that you're after. You might have to order it online. But if you go into the local shop and try on their hats, then you could say when you order it, oh, I tried on the Outback Kodiak and I needed a size medium. That way the company will know that, okay, you need the medium size. If that makes any sense. Yeah, so good hat. Not much more to say about it. Very impressed. I quite like it. Like them both. Leaning towards this fella. And I want to keep talking, but there's not much else to say. Thanks, guys. That's my review on the Hills Hat Milford and the Outback Hats Madison River.